guys, first of all, sorry about the boring scenery. Usually we try to make sure there's some interesting imagery for you. In this case, it's just too windy outside. It's about 3 degrees, which is okay, but the wind's just too much. You wouldn't be able to hear anything. So even in the car, we're driving in the car, it's just too noisy. So sorry about the boring scenery. You might want to look at something else. You might want to look out your window instead. So the video's been called Nonsense for a number of reasons that you'll see shortly. The first one is that over the last 12 months, a lot of people's lives have been really devastated by corona and by a lot of the side effects of corona, you know. So either physically, health-wise devastated, or friends or family devastated, or their work and their income and their lives. So for us to be talking about this nonsense when people are going through really serious dramas like that is just seriously nonsense, isn't it? So that's one reason we call it that. The other reason is that all we want to do, and those of you who have been with us for a while would have heard us say a million times over the last 10 years, all we want to do is show you anything and everything about Japan. That's all we want to do. We want to make videos about Japan, show you the videos. We want to take photos of Japan and show you the photos. That's all we want to do. We don't want to do anything else. We don't want to talk about any other nonsense. We don't want to be involved in any other nonsense. That's all we want to do. And we know from what you guys tell us that you want us to keep doing it the way we're doing it and where we're doing it. So we know that a lot of you guys prefer to watch videos on YouTube. We know that the photos that we show you through Patreon and Facebook and Twitter and so on, that's where you want to see them. So we know that you're happy with the way things are, and so are we. You know, all we want to do is keep showing you the videos and the photos for those of you who like seeing them. That's all we want to do, nothing else. We don't want to be sitting here talking about crap like this, but we have to. The reason that this video is being made is to make sure, or to help us continue to do that. So what's actually happened was, we're really careful what we post. We're really careful. We've learnt that over the years, to be really, really careful what content we post, where it comes from, make sure there's no copyright, even if there's background music playing at a festival or something. We've got to be really careful, because we've got copyright strikes for that before. It's some background music playing and it's a copyright, and bang, suddenly we get a penalty because we didn't notice that music playing. Or, you know, once we showed you a monkey in a zoo and we got a obscenity strike because you could see its private parts, you know. So we know we've got to be careful. So as far as the you know, as YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everybody, we know what their systems are like and how prudish they are, and that, you know, free speech is only an illusion, right? So we're really, really careful what we post. That's for one reason. The other reason is that we're surrounded by kids. As you might see from this room, we're surrounded by kids. We've got kids in this, they're not here at the moment, but we're surrounded by kids all the time. So kids see us taking our photos and making our videos, and then a lot of the kids in our family and extended family see our videos and our photos that we take on YouTube and on the internet. So everything that we do in our lives is kid friendly. We're really, really careful about that, right? So we're really careful already about what we post, and that we don't want to offend anybody or upset anybody. So we're really careful with our content, you know. But this last week or so, every time we upload a video on YouTube, we have to watch it to make sure it plays okay. You know, we've learnt that in the past, so we're really careful to make sure it plays okay. There's no technical problems with it. And before every video recently, they'd been playing this ad. Now, you guys, if you're not in Japan, you wouldn't have seen the ad probably, because it's targeted at Japanese people. And it's for a game, and it's a pretty weird game, you know. And so we actually ended up going, oh, this is ridiculous. Got to show you guys. You know, we're really careful, but we wanted to show you guys, because for a number of reasons. One was a bit of a dig at YouTube, because they go on about being kid-friendly. You know, we've had no comments on our videos for a couple of years to protect the children. And just those of you who missed it, here's a 20-second update on that. They disabled comments. Now we asked them why our comments been disabled. The answer is, we disabled comments on millions of videos to protect the children. There's nothing you've done wrong, and you've not been penalised in any way. Now apparently there's some logarithm that they've got. If children watch your videos, or if they think children are in your videos, you can't have comments on your videos, basically. And we've told them millions of times, or many times, that we don't have children in our videos, and our videos are not for children to watch, even though some do. And That's it. So we know about all that sort of stuff, right? So, but we wanted to show you this thing because we thought, here they are wanting to protect the children, but if a company pays YouTube money, they can post these fairly weird ads. Now the ad wasn't. It was an animation. It was a girl on a train, and she come and it was that classic scene of the Japanese dude on the train being seduced by a young girl, and she was obviously like just supposed to be underage. It was the weird 2012 3 girl with the big eyes and the weird stuff, right? So it was really really weird, but it wasn't really explicit imagery. It was just the suggestion of weirdness, right? It wasn't really explicit imagery. But we knew that even though that company pays YouTube to let them post it on YouTube, we knew if we posted it on YouTube that we'd probably get in trouble for it. So, okay, so we took the video and we knew don't post it on YouTube. It's okay for them to show it because they're getting paid to show it, but if we show it, we'll get in trouble, right? Because, it's not a level playing field, YouTube, is it? Money talks on YouTube. So, again, not complaining, just the way it is. So, okay, don't post it on YouTube. So we posted it on Dailymotion because Dailymotion's a French company, and apparently in France they really do have free speech. So we've been posting videos on Dailymotion for years, and all the things, the naked monkey, all those things that we get in trouble for on YouTube, we post on Dailymotion, not a word from them. They don't care, right? So we posted this weird ad, copy of the weird ad on Dailymotion and said, check this out, guys. And then we showed our friends on Patreon and we showed our friends on Facebook and on Twitter. And so it didn't think any more of it. And then we get a message from Facebook to say that that content's been removed, right? And for violating community guidelines. Now we're guessing it was the title, because the title said YouTube's weird pedo ad, right? Now the content wasn't bad, but chances are pedo. Because, we can't be talking about pedo, can we, right? Obviously it's on their banned list. Didn't think about that. Didn't think it'd be a problem. But Facebook obviously didn't like the word pedo, and so that set them off, so they removed the content. Okay, that's not such a bad thing. And then the next thing we get shortly after was a message to say, whatever that was in our thumbnail, it said, your page is at risk of being unpublished. And it said that for continual posting of inappropriate job ads, right? Now, continual, we've never had a community strike or any problems from Facebook in 10 years. Nothing, right? We've never been in trouble with them at all. So continual is a problem. We've got a problem with that. The next one was job ads. We've never posted a job ad on Facebook. We sometimes on the English Family Directory we share posts from jobs in Japan, but this is all about the Japan channel page. And if you look on the Japan channel page, there's no job ads on there. And then we check the community guidelines. If you post job ads that are like pyramid selling, or that it's about sex, or it's about, there's a list of things you can check for yourself that are naughty jobs, right? A normal job's okay, but a naughty job's no good. Well, we never posted any job ads, and we sure never posted any naughty job ads for prostitutes or whatever it is that they're worried about. So, okay. So we click on they have the review button like YouTube does, if you think you've been unfairly treated, click the review button. So we clicked that for the last 36 hours on a fairly regular basis, and it just doesn't go anywhere. It just says, there's a problem, try again later, right? So it's one of those buttons. YouTube has buttons like that are just to keep you entertained that really don't do anything. So we've sort of their review button. So, okay, look. We know this is the way it is, that Facebook and YouTube and all these guys, they're the way they are. It's just the way it is, right? So we're not complaining. All we're doing is telling you what's happening so you know why. So with all this nonsense, over the years we've learnt that complaining about it doesn't help. Asking them to review it doesn't help. We've never once had any of this crap overturned. Any dramas or penalties that we've been given over the years from YouTube or anybody else, none of them have been reversed. They just send you their cut and paste responses, and it's just the way it is, And look, some people say they own the game, it's their website, they can do whatever they want. Fair enough, that's true, but nothing we can do about it, right? So, what can we do? So that's what we always come back to. What can we do? So the first thing that we do is that we post every video that we upload to YouTube. We also post on Dailymotion. So that's our backup plan. Now, again, we know that our patrons want us to continue on YouTube. That's why they support the channel. And that's our goal. And again, coming back to repeating that, our goal is to keep making videos and photos about Japan and showing them to you on the same places that we show you to them already. So on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page and Patreon and Twitter and exactly what we're doing now. That's all we want to do. We don't want to be talking about this crap. We don't want to be thinking about this crap. We don't want to be in talking about any other nonsense. All we want to do is just make videos and photos about Japan and post them where you see them now. That's all we want to do. But we're fully aware of the fact that once you get on the radar of Facebook or YouTube or someone else, all we need now is for one more mistake on Facebook, not necessarily from us, just from their system, misinterpreting a word or misinterpreting some image or something, and suddenly our Facebook page could disappear, which is pretty disheartening. You know, we spent 10 years collecting 5,500 people on there, and 108,000 people on YouTube, and we know we could wake up any morning and our YouTube channel could be gone, or our Facebook page or Twitter or any of it could disappear. So that's why we've got plan B for everything. So, and that's why this video is being made, to tell you about all our plan Bs, because our biggest thing is losing you guys. There's no point in making the videos and the photos if you guys aren't there to watch them and see them. So that's the purpose of this video, so you know the backup plans, you know the plan B. So we've got Dailymotion. If you haven't seen that already, check that out. We've made a second Facebook page. Now, I'm not sure how that would work if they do suddenly shut us down, whether all our other Facebook pages disappear too. But we've made a second Facebook page called the Japan Channel. It's up. There'll be a link to that underneath this video, okay? So if you're on Facebook and use Facebook, please like and follow that. They've also said in that threatening thing, you're at risk of being unpublished. It also said that we'd been restricted, that our viewership had been restricted, something like that. Our distribution had been restricted. So some of you on Facebook might not see our posts now. We're not quite sure what the hell that means. They've given us a penalty, haven't they? They're penalising us. Same as YouTube telling us you've not been punished in any way, but turning our comments off. That cost us a lot of subscribers, a lot of supporters on Patreon, views, lots of views. They're punishments. They don't call them that, but they are. So we've done that. Second Facebook page, Dailymotion channel. But the most important thing that we do is Patreon and PayPal, because it's the 214 people on Patreon and the 21 people on PayPal. It's you guys. Now, the reason that we can keep doing what we're doing is that, first of all, logistically, that there's no way that the time that we spend, those of you who have small families, or just anybody who has to pay bills, hey, that corkboard that we talk about all the time with the bills, it's right here, covered in bills. But those of you who have corkboards covered in bills know that, you can't spend hours a day doing videos and photos, unless you can justify it, and the only thing that justifies it is the PayPal and the Patreon support, because then that makes it like a part-time job. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be able to support it. So that's logistically, but also our morale. The treatment that we get from these big companies, it just, some days, it just really damages morale. That we put in all that work for that 10 years, and those guys just, it means nothing, and these unfair penalties, and the not having comments on YouTube, I mean, that's a constant reminder of getting a penalty that we didn't do anything to deserve. And it's really bad for morale, and the support on Patreon and PayPal, in January, a whole bunch of people stepped up on PayPal and on Patreon. And I tell these guys, I tell the family, we talk about these things, and sometimes when bad stuff happens and we get a bit disheartened, and then, we get the support on Patreon and PayPal, and these guys know that, and they know it's sort of like a part-time job, and they know that you guys like our videos and you like our photos, and it sort of makes it all much more positive, and instead of me being a pain going, oh, there's something interesting, let me take a picture, and them all going, oh, again, it's not like that. What actually happens is everyone's into it. So everyone in the family will say, oh, that's interesting. Look, Dad, get the camera. Look at that. Have a look at that. Look at that for YouTube. Look at that. Take that picture. Look at that sunset. Take a photo of that sunset. And it just changes the whole thing. So all this nonsense that we get from YouTube and Facebook and all these other big, ruthless prudish, you know, nonsense people. Everything we get from them is balanced out by the support that we get from the people on Patreon and PayPal. And look, the nice words, you know, we always appreciate the nice words. Oh, you know, love what you do and all that stuff. That's wonderful, you know, and that really helps as well. But nothing carries as much weight as the actions of those patrons and those people on PayPal, because they're not just, you know, taking 5 seconds to leave a nice comment, which is lovely. They're going a step further than that, and actually really doing something, you know, to support the channel and support what we do and to keep us going. So from a logistic point of view, that keeps it happening. And from a morale, that keeps us trying. And that, you know, we'll stop. We'll be going somewhere and it's 2 degrees outside and really windy, and we see the guy up on the power lines, or we see some crazy thing. And it's because of those guys supporting us that we go, yeah, it's worth it. And we've got to take a side track down the back of some rice field somewhere to get that video, and we'll do it. Because we know that, you know, you guys appreciate what we do, because we know that because of the way you support us. You know, and occasionally someone steps up with some amazing support, and, you know, we talk about that. Hey, you know, someone do what someone did today? Someone paid us, you know, money through PayPal today that's going to pay that bill. You know, isn't that amazing? So, you know, and it sort of makes us a bit bulletproof, because we're still really super careful that we don't use any forbidden words or show you any forbidden imagery or talk about any forbidden topics, you know, because someone in the land of free speech is, you know, could penalise it for us. So we're really careful about all that. But underneath it all, we know that at least if we've got that support, that you know, there's not much those turkeys can do to us. If we've got the support from you guys on PayPal and Patreon, there's not much that YouTube and Facebook can do to stop us doing what we're doing, because we've got our backup plans. And again, you know, we're like on eggshells. It's like having, we were talking about it this morning, it's like having some super sensitive aunt in the room, and you've got to be really careful what you say in case she gets angry. That's a bit like dealing with YouTube and Facebook. And we know, just repeating again, we do know, there's always someone who says to us, oh, I really want you to stay on YouTube, you know, because we know that for lots of people that's their favourite format for watching videos. You know, we know that. And it's ours too. We like watching documentaries on YouTube, so we understand that, you know. So that's our goal. We want to keep everything just the way it is. Again, we want to never make a video like this again. We just want to make videos about Japan, show you images from Japan, videos and pictures, and keep it about Japan. That's all we want to do. We don't want to get involved in any other nonsense, you know. 10 years, we've had no interest in that. You know, those documentaries that we watch on TV, usually you don't see the narrator. You see the topic. And that's the stuff we like to watch. We like to watch archaeology ones, and we like to watch like nature ones. You know, and we like the sort of ones where you don't see the narrator. You don't have the guy, hey, here's me here doing it. We don't like that stuff. We like to watch the ones where it's about the topic, and you're seeing about the topic, and you're not seeing all that other nonsense with the personality and that. You know, some people love that. That's great, you know, but that's not what we like to watch. So that's not what we like to make. And it's the same as with the drama ones. We know there's a lot of drama on YouTube. People seem to love the drama. We hate the drama. You know, it's a sickening feeling to wake up in the morning and turn on the computer and here's some drama from Facebook or some drama from YouTube, or, you know, people on YouTube reminding us again that our comments aren't there. We can't comment on YouTube. And, you know, we don't want that stuff. All we want to do is keep taking photos and videos of Japan and showing it to you guys. So that's what we're going to try and keep doing, and we're going to try and keep it just the way it is and not change anything, okay? We're being really super careful, you know, and even more careful. This reminds us, okay, now, you know, we'd like to show you, we say we want to show you anything and everything about Japan. Well, the truth is we can't, because we see stuff all the time. Hey, take a video of that, and I can't put that on YouTube because of that background music, or can't put that on YouTube because someone's going to say it's sexual content, or can't show you that because of this, or can't show you that because of this. There's a lot of stuff that comes up like that our kids are looking at, but we can't show you because we know that YouTube, no, can't do that on YouTube. There's no free speech on YouTube. So again, can't be helped, but we're really careful about that. We know that. Okay, we can't take that, we can't take that, we can't show them that, we can't show them that. We know that. We accept it. Occasionally, if there's something we really want to show you, we'll put it on Daily Motion, you know, because France has free speech, apparently. So, Apparently Japan too, because the video that we showed that got us into trouble is quite acceptable in Japan apparently. So anyway, that's all that. Won't go on about that. It's hard not to bitch about it because it is disheartening, as you know. But again, if you're on Patreon already, you can step up your support on Patreon. Please do. If you can support through, if you don't like Patreon, you prefer PayPal. We actually like Patreon because it's a really good format for communication for us with our supporters. That is our choice, and it's really good for tracking you guys and everything and seeing who's there and so on, keeping in contact. So it is better for communication, but some people prefer just direct through PayPal. It's easier for them, and we love you guys too. And we've actually developed our own system to keep track of the PayPal people as well and be able to communicate with you guys as well. So either's fine, whatever you prefer, you know. So Patreon and PayPal, it's only because of you guys that we can fight the nonsense, you know. And again, when I say fight, we've learnt not to fight it. We're not really fighting it. It just means it's more of an internal thing. It's more of a, you know, it's more of a not being disheartened by it and not letting it dishearten us too much and not damage morale too much and allow us to keep doing what we're doing, you know. So the rest of you, you know, the 214 people on Patreon and the 21 people on PayPal, they're the guys. It's only because of those guys that you guys can be continuing to watch our videos about Japan and our pictures and so on. So we all owe them a huge vote of thanks. And those of you who aren't on there, please consider it because it's sort of a way, you know, it's quietly fighting. I've learned over the years that going head to head with they don't care. YouTube and all those big guys, they don't care about little guys like us. You know, we're irrelevant. We're a very small little number in amongst a very big number. We're irrelevant to them. But it allows us to fight our own fight, you know, and continue doing what we're doing. Just by fighting, I mean just continuing doing what we're doing. Continuing posting our videos on YouTube quietly. Continuing to post our photos quietly. And you guys enjoying them quietly at your end, you know. That's what we want to do. And by supporting us like that, you allow us to do that, you know. So, anyway, that's more than enough for looking at this room, isn't it? So we'll now return to our usual programming. More videos coming soon.